Before we begin, did you know Ronaldo almost didn't make it to the final of the Euros 2016? Ronaldo's quest for an international trophy ended with the Euros 2016. He deserved the title, being a long-term and consistent servant for his nation, and after the heartbreak he suffered in his debut Euros 2004 campaign. You don't want to miss the incredible story about how Cristiano Ronaldo, on one leg in the final of the European Championship, inspired his side to win the prestigious European Championship. Having joined Sporting at a young age and coming through its academy, Ronaldo almost joined Arsenal before Sir Alex Ferguson intercepted and brought the mercurial Portuguese to Manchester United. There he won it all, from individual awards to club titles. At the time of his transfer, Ronaldo was the most expensive player in the world when he switched from United to Real Madrid. There he won multiple Ballon d'Or and club honors. But this is about Ronaldo and Portugal, and after the heartbreak of losing against the minnows and the ultimate underdogs Greece in his debut campaign in 2004. Ronaldo finally got his retribution as he won the Euros 2016, and that too on one leg as he had to miss the final due to injury. However, that did not stop the legendary Portuguese to become a temporary manager and shout his heart out with instructions for his teammates. Cristiano Ronaldo was already a star in the making when he made his move from Sporting to Manchester United. He was the next big thing to come out of Portugal after Figo, who by that time was already one of the greatest players of the generation. Ronaldo, after arriving at United, needed a bit of time to settle. After that, he immediately started to show what he was capable of. He developed a great understanding at club level with another upcoming superstar, England's own Wayne Rooney. Ronaldo was a very tricky player in his initial days, dribbling this way and that, and also mastering the long-range hits. These all traits were eventually going to make a winner with Portugal. Also, as far as club form was concerned, Ronaldo helped Manchester United regain their Premier League superiority by outclassing a heavily assembled Chelsea side, once he and Rooney settled. But that's club football. UEFA Euro 2004, the heartbreak. This was Ronaldo's first international tournament with the senior side, a side that consisted of Luis Figo, Rui Costa, Ricardo, Deco, and Ricardo Carvalho. Portugal had only ever taken part in the European Championship thrice before this tournament, and only twice in the last 2 decades. But this time around, Portugal came in as heavy favorites, and there were a fair few reasons for it. Portugal was the host nation, so they had the home advantage right off the bat. The Seleçãos also had one of the best players in the world playing for them at the time, Luis Figo, and on top of that they had a generational star coming up the ranks in Cristiano Ronaldo. The squad was stacked as well. Ronaldo had a stellar debut international campaign as he helped Portugal reach the final of the Euros. He scored 1 goal in the group game as they finished on top of the group containing Greece. In the knockout rounds is where Ronaldo came in clutch. He scored crucial penalties in the penalty shootout, as well as scoring in the semi-final against the Netherlands. The date with destiny was set for Portugal and Ronaldo, a final against the most underdog team in the history of the tournament, Greece. Portugal and Ronaldo had already faced Greece in their first game of the tournament, and in one of the upsets in the tournament, they lost that game, sending shockwaves amongst the footballing fraternity. But that was an anomaly, right? Wrong. Ronaldo and Portugal suffered a heartbreak. That in long term helped Ronnie and the Portugal side to eventually cross the line. Greece, to every single football fan's surprise, won the final by defeating Portugal again. Cristiano scored the only goal of the game as it knocked the stuffing out of Portugal, and Ronaldo learned a hard lesson that day. Euro 2016, the most incredible campaign ever. Incredible is one way to describe their campaign really, because till date we don't know how they managed to even get out of the group, let alone win the whole damn thing. Portugal failed to win even a single game in the group stages, drawing 3 straight games against Iceland, Austria, and Hungary. Ronaldo was so frustrated by Iceland celebrating their point against them that he quoted Iceland of having a small mentality. Well, it's a good thing Ronaldo always backs up his words. On the pitch, Ronaldo managed to score twice against Hungary in their last group game, and despite missing a penalty against Austria, Ronaldo seemed in great form and looked highly motivated. Not that he ever looked less motivated at any time of his career, but this time it was a bit different. This was Portugal. His image of not producing for his country at the big stage was on the line, and Ronaldo, personally, started the tournament in fine form. Despite finishing third in the group, Portugal still managed to qualify for the knockout rounds. That was largely thanks to the new format where, for the first time ever, 24 teams had participated in the European Championship, and the 4 best third-place teams would progress to the knockout stage. Portugal qualified for the knockout round by the skin of their teeth. Even in the third best team category, they came third out of the 4 teams, with Turkey and Albania missing out due to inferior goal differences. Qualifying for the knockout rounds was all that mattered to Portugal, because they were about to peak at the very right time. What also benefited the Seleção was the fact that all the big guns, Italy, France, Spain, England, and Germany, all were part of the opposite side of the knockout bracket. Portugal's only real threat came from an underrated Croatian side and a young, talented Belgium side. Here's another interesting tidbit about Portugal at the Euro 2016. Cristiano Ronaldo was primarily used as a striker, despite deputizing at left wing at Real Madrid. The cunning Fernando Santos played Ronaldo as to the goal as he could, and that paid dividends. And also, Portugal were going through a slump in the striking department. So Ronaldo was used centrally, with Nani floating around left and right of the legendary Portuguese. They had a very solid midfield built with Adrian Silva and Renato Sanchez leading the press. Meanwhile, João Mario and William Carvalho maintained the shape of the team. In the defense, Portugal were marshaled by the now veteran Pepe alongside José Fonte and Cedric Soares and Rafael Guerreiro, providing the width and stability as fullbacks. Portugal faced the underrated Croatian side in the first knockout round, and boy was it a great match. Both teams threw everything at each other, but none could score. The game ended in a 0-0 draw in regular time. In extra time, both teams again traded punches, with Ronaldo's influence increasing with every passing minute, and that eventually came to a head. In the 117th minute of extra time, Nani's precise pass found Ronaldo at the back post. The shot was saved brilliantly by Subasic, only for another former wonder kid, Ricardo Quaresma, to head home the rebound into an empty net. Cue the wild celebrations. Portugal had knocked out the dark horses of the tournament and made themselves dark horses in the process. In the quarterfinals, Portugal faced a dogged Poland side led by an in-form Lewandowski and his strike partner Milik. Poland took a second-minute lead against Portugal, and it looked like the repeat of the 2004 Euro against Greece was on the cards. But this Portugal, led by Cristiano Ronaldo, was built differently. Renato Sanchez equalized for the Seleçãos, and the game ended in a 1-1 draw after extra time. In the penalty shootout, the maestro Ronaldo, along with his band, scored all of their spot kicks. Poland's Jakub Lewandowski missed their first spot kick, and with Portugal scoring every penalty, they went through. So the mighty little Wales had reached the semi-final of the European Championship in 2016. They beat all the odds and even a golden generation Belgium to reach the semis of a Euro. It pitted arguably the most intriguing 2 sides in the competition. Why? Portugal had Cristiano Ronaldo and Wales had Gareth Bale. Yup, the duo in Real Madrid's iconic BBC Bale, Benzema, Cristiano were going to go head to head against each other. It wasn't just Portugal versus Wales, it was Ronaldo versus Bale, 2 iconic players of this generation. The game lived up to the Ronaldo versus Bale hype. Everything good Portugal were doing was coming from Ronaldo, and everything Wales had to offer was coming from Bale. By the end, it looked like Bale was the only one trying to single-handedly upset the Portuguese by shooting from every imaginable distance and angle. But Portugal produced one of the most professional displays of the Euros and dispatched a very solid Wales side. Unsurprisingly, Ronaldo headed them in front from a corner routine and then had a hand in their second goal too, as his shot was turned in by a sliding Nani. Cristiano had further chances to widen the lead but missed a couple of good chances. Meanwhile, Wales toiled and toiled with Bale, their only attacking outlet, but the talisman Welshman as he had done throughout the tournament of coming up with the goods, just couldn't find an end product in this game. Ronaldo and Portugal advanced to the finals at the expense of Wales. The final. And here we are, the crowning glory of Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal. The build-up was all about Ronaldo finally ending his international drought and winning an international tournament. But boy, Portugal had to work their backsides off for that. In the final, Portugal faced a France side that was packed with superstars: Griezmann, Giroud, Pogba, Payet, Lloris, Ignac, Sagna. All of these guys made the core of that French team. On paper, France were favorites, but the game isn't played on paper, folks, and we saw that firsthand. This was Ronaldo's tournament, and this was his destiny. But who knew destiny had one last cruel twist of fate left for the footballing world? In the 24th minute of the game, Ronaldo had to be substituted from the game because of a knee injury. He was stretchered off. You can take Ronaldo off the pitch, but you can't take Ronaldo out of the game. With a heavily bandaged knee, Ronaldo shouted instructions and motivated the players throughout the game. It seemed as if Fernando Santos was his assistant at one moment of time. Ronaldo was living the game on the sidelines, jumping up and down in agony and nervousness. The moment the GOAT deserved arrived in the deep end of the game. The game finished scoreless in normal time. Eder was substituted late in normal time, and he was about to become the toast of the town. In the 117th minute of the extra time, Eder held off Koscielny inside the France half, took aim and hit a crisp low shot from 25 to 30 yards out, which beat the despairing dive of Lloris, and the ball nestled into the net. Portugal fans and the Portuguese bench erupted. Shortly thereafter, the final whistle blew and Ronaldo had fulfilled his destiny. He was now a European Championship winner. A first international trophy for Portugal too, where greats like Eusebio, Figo, Deco, Carvalho, and Rui Costa had failed. Ronaldo was able to fulfill his lifelong ambition and dream of winning an international trophy with his beloved Portugal. And he did it on one leg.